It is Saturday, June 10th, 2017. Today I will not talk about stocks. I want to talk about cryptocurrencies because I've been doing a lot of research in that area as of late. And from being a skeptic just because I'm not a techie, I didn't understand what a blockchain was and nobody could explain it to me in simple terms. So I never really tackled the problem. So from being a skeptic, I've turned Super Bowl, and I think cryptocurrencies will change the future a lot more than people perceive right now. I think it is still not understood, and this is not a bubble. This is the beginning of a phenomenon that is going to dwarf what happened to .com stocks in the 90s. And I think we are still in early innings, and to put it in .com terms, the way Dennis Gartman would describe it, we are maybe in 1994, maybe 1995. So there is still years to come, and I think this will actually accelerate over time faster, and it will be in the end it will become a bubble. But we are so far away from bubble territory. And here's a spoiler alert: I do not think that Bitcoin will be the winner. I will do my best to keep it as simple as possible, try to explain what the blockchain is and why it matters. Before I go into detail, I want to put one thought out there that makes it easier to get comfortable to the idea of having a digital currency. Did you know that out of all the US dollars out there in fluctuation, only 3% exist in physical form, in physical actual dollar bills? The rest, 97%, only exist as ones and zeros on computers. So if we were to go to the bank tomorrow and take out all the money that we think we have, there is just not enough dollar bills on the planet to pay us the money. In other words, we are only 3% away from having a fully digital currency. I could rant on for an hour what a Ponzi scheme our fractional reserve system is. So, but I will try to stay away from that and just focus on cryptocurrencies today. Let me begin by explaining the purpose of a bank. The bank has two objectives. It needs to store value, that's where we keep our money, and it needs to keep a ledger. When are we spending money? When is money coming in? And do we have enough money right now to go to the mall and buy a sweater? So it's store of value and a ledger. The blockchain does exactly the same thing. The big difference is the bank is centralized. It is one entity that has all our spending habits under one roof. The blockchain is public. So whenever we spend money with Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, that transaction gets broadcasted to the internet. Then it gets picked up by these miners, these Bitcoin miners. And all what that is, these are just computers that pick up these transactions, and they simply verify, do I have enough coin to buy that sweater? And while I am buying the sweater, Nancy is buying a pony, and Peter is paying Paul 5 Bitcoins. All those transactions then get put in one block. And these computers that are connected to the Bitcoin network then just verify that each transaction is valid, that people who are spending coin have received more coin in the past than they are spending right now, and then the entire network of computers must agree on the order these transactions have taken place. And Bitcoin mining is simply the process of giving these computers an incentive to do the work and to agree, okay, this is the block, this is the order in which these transactions have taken place. And since everybody has all of the information, the power is not in one entity, it's not one bank, it's not one government, it is the entire network that knows everything. And that's why in the end it will be a more secure system than the current system, because right now a bank could just shut us off. A government can seize your account. On the blockchain, that is not possible. Instead of having one entity with all the power, that power is distributed over thousands of different computers. Let's play devil's advocate here for a second say, yeah, but it's not real money. Okay, let's think about this for a second. What's the dollar bill that we currently have? I mean, the 3% of the dollars that are out there. It's a piece of paper. When it started, the idea was, okay, this paper money is a receipt that tells you, oh, I do own this amount of gold, and if you go to the bank, you can get gold for it. That all went away. So now it's just an empty promise, just as much as Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency is an empty promise. And all what is required for it to be money is if people believe in it. So it's all about perception. It's all about psychology. And that's why I believe the potential is so tremendous, because all what it takes for these cryptocurrencies to go mainstream is perception. And the cocktail that we have right now is that we are sick and tired of politicians, that we are tired of governments, we are tired of banks and all these fraudsters. We want to take power away from these elites. This is one of the tools to do it. On top of that, the younger you are, the more open you are to the idea of having money that only exists on your phone, in the computer, because the kids nowadays, they don't even spend dollar bills anymore. Another factor is that whatever cryptocurrency goes mainstream will not go mainstream in just one country. It will be a global phenomenon. The market cap of Bitcoin right now, what is it? 50 billion, something like that. And I don't even think Bitcoin will be the mainstream cryptocurrency in the future, because there is some flaws in the concept that only became evident over time, and there is smarter cryptocurrencies that are out there, and that is why I believe there is so much potential, so much money to be made in this sector going forward. But it won't be easy, because there will be so many cryptocurrencies out there, and most of them will go to zero. There will be a time, though, where this becomes so bubblicious that the tide will lift all boats, and even the loser coins will go higher. And what will take this to crazy levels is just the potential, the imagination that people will then develop, the greed people will develop. Because back then, for the .com era, there was still like limits to how big could a company possibly become. How many eyeballs can they get? How much revenue can they generate? But for a currency, for a global currency, in the final stages, this will probably be pretty ugly. We will see hockey stick charts that we've never seen before, cryptocurrencies that go from zero to hundreds of billions within months, and in the end there will be a day of reckoning, but this is years out. We have a small fraction of people who are even interested in this, but they will come, they will chase. Greed will draw them in.